Hello, you join us at Procurement and Supply Chain Live London 2023. I'm Neil Perry and I've been on hosting duties today.
And I'm Scott Birch, and I've also been taken to the stage welcoming experts and executives in the worlds of procurement and supply chain.
It's been a really busy first day. Scott, what have your highlights been today?
Well, so far my highlights have been Matt Yagician from AWS.
I think what's really amazing about Amazon is that despite the fact that it's grown, when I joined AWS New York, we were 11 people. We're not 11 people anymore. And as we've grown very large, we're still agile. We're still effectively operating like a startup.
And then also we had a fantastic session from Jim Townsend, and he's the former CPO from Walgreens Boots Alliance.
End-to-end solutions that kind of are all-encompassing don't really exist. I think at one point in time, maybe 10 years ago, we looked at the source to pay and we looked at it and thought, well, that goes some of the way. But the reality is people are having to build up an ecosphere of typically a backbone of ERP with various solutions bolted around that.
And Neil, your highlights?
What I'll do is I'll pick out two of the panel discussions we had earlier today. The first one was the Supply Chain Sustainability Forum that kicked off the event on stage 2.
We know that that's very much the whip that's bringing the tail along to where everyone else is trying to get to in sustainability. So you're not trying to stay where that is. You're certainly looking forward on regulation, and particularly for any capital investments. If you're putting in place a new supply chain, if you're launching in a new country, if you're building infrastructure, you do need to do sort of a 10-year projection.
And I'll also pick out another panel that we had on stage 2. That was the Supply Chain Strategy Forum, where we covered everything from AI to technology and how to spot a good strategy from one that might not be working.
Be honest with yourself as well. I think creating, things like digital twins, creating visibility across the supply chain, inevitably gives you that visibility. But I think it's being honest to then act on those findings, those red flags. As humans, without going into a psychology lesson, we're preconditioned to see what we want to see in many senses. And I think we've got to challenge yourself when there are those red flags.
And another highlight for me was the Digital Procurement Forum. We had some real legends of the procurement industry, including Dirk Karl of MTN Group, Waleed Al Saidi of Abu Dhabi Tourism and Culture Authority, Sheldon Maidat of Sopico, and Nick Wright from BP.
The problem statement and what I'm facing in the organization, of course, on that journey, disruption-wise, I don't want the CDO in my organization. I don't want the garage in my organization, because it's a very pointed environment where people are using the data and the rest of the organization doesn't, and falls back into old habits.
And remember, if there's any sessions that you've missed during today, do make sure you keep an eye on our socials and on our YouTube channel to catch up on all the best content, and there's plenty more tomorrow.